Is that LeBron's number one?
Yeah.
I don't think he said that.
Yeah, that's what he was insinuating to his crowd.
Insinuating?
Yeah, it's insinuation.
This is what me and Souls talk about when we say some of you just talk to get your shit off.
Gil and the boys heard JJ Redick and heard his comments on Michael Jordan, and so they said they had to clap back. Gil and the Sunshine Band, starting with Rashad McCants.
Well, you know what I'm saying? And then proceeds to say it's watered down. Michael Jordan did what he did for the game, right? So how is the game not watered down now?
You feel like the game is watered down?
I'm asking the question. How is the game not watered down now like it was when Mike was playing?
Expansion, Rashad, expansion.
LeBron and JJ on your podcast, please talk about how the game is watered down now. You was walking to the finals 10 straight years. You're playing with everybody who at your skills camp. You run up and down the court, can't get touched. Don't nobody want to run in front of you. Can't nobody say nothing to you in the public because they won't be your friend. It's the same shit was happening all night. I want to wear Michael Jordans. I want to be in the Space Jam movie.
So to JJ's point, 6 teams added during that window. I think the league expanded by around 25% during that time. The league expanded by 25%. Now it's about 7 more teams.
Ain't got nothing to do with being watered down.
How would it look? How would it look now?
The competition is the competition, right? Mm-hmm. Right. If you consider Michael Jordan dealing with whoever was in front of him and dealing with him accordingly, cool. If you're gonna consider LeBron doing the same, cool. Don't say it's watered down for the sake of trying to put LeBron ahead of him. Oh my God. That don't make no sense.
Did he put LeBron ahead of him?
Yeah.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh, he did it. That wasn't the clip.
Oh my God.
Did he even say LeBron was the
No,
goat?
no, and I have to. I don't know if there's more clip, but I have to go back to a Souls. I have to go to a Souls and Sage classic thing. This is what me and Souls talk about when we say some of you just talk to get your shit off. Nobody mentioned that LeBron is the greatest player, but it's just vibes. It's just vibes. And even if he did, that still doesn't. You're not arguing as to water down or not. You just a Zibes argument. What are we doing?
The NBA playoffs are here, man. There's a lot of money to be made if you play daily fantasy sports. And if you want to get into the action, you guys can use Prize Picks, the sponsor of this podcast, our preferable way to play daily fantasy sports. We will show you how to play the game right now, and it is very, very simple. Just sign up for an account, download their app, go on their website, and make some picks. And if you really know ball, you can win some money. I'm going to go ahead and look down here. Kevin Durant, 36.5 points plus rebounds plus assists versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm sensing a big game from KD tonight, man. Hit more for me, please. And then Darius Garland has been letting me down all year, and it's just another day of the year. Hit less for me on the PRA as well for Darius Garland. Omar, you decide how much we put on the entry.
You got to risk it to get the biscuit. I'm going to put 210 on there. Make place entry.
And if you use code LKIB, PrizePicks will match 100% of your first deposit up to $100. Shout out to PrizePicks for sponsoring this video. Now let's get right back to the content.
Somebody in chat said, bro, Rashard literally said on Gil's show that the first time he saw Bron in a party, he got mad and went to the gym and fucked his knee up and his career. It's more than basketball for him.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Let me keep playing it because he's about to piss me off.
Is that LeBron's number one?
Yeah.
I don't think he said that.
Yeah, that's what he was insinuating to his crowd.
Insinuating?
Yeah, it's insinuation. 21 years at the highest level.
So what did he say about Kobe? Did he say anything about Kobe?
Not that particular clip, but prior to that clip, Shaq basically said if you're going to have a GOAT debate, there's no way that you can't include Kobe in it. So, Gil, when you hear JJ Redick saying that the NBA was watered down during MJ's era by adding 6 additional teams and 90 players, what is your reaction to that?
I think he's inaccurate on his math. I can see where his math is coming from, 6 teams. 15 players is 90 players, right? So that's where he's getting it from, not realizing, what history was. It wasn't 15 new players. So technically it's not watered down, right? It was, before this, it was really watered down because they had 7 drafts. That's watered down, right? When you can draft the chair, right? You can draft the chair, kind of tells you it's watered down. I think a woman got drafted back then.
Yes.
And I think Bruce.
I'm sorry. These are the worst people in the world. These are the worst people to exist in the world.
I will say this: Rashad is unnecessary for that pod, man. You need a bad take machine.
Just a little bit further.
Shit. Who's that on this pod?
Back when it was when she was Brucey boy. He was drafted. He never even touched basketball.
Bruce Jenner, now Caitlyn Jenner, yeah.
Yeah. So back then, the gold medalist when, that one.
Wheaties box, yeah.
He was drafted in the NBA back then. So the draft was watered down then. When they expanded the teams, there was only 12-man rosters. So the 15-man roster that he's saying didn't even exist then. It was 12-man rosters then. Now, a lottery, an expansion draft is this. You got two teams, which was Charlotte and Miami, right? Now, everyone protected their top 8. That means your bottom 4 gets put into the draft. Now, it's not 92 players because they can only pick a possible 12 each. So only 24 can be drafted from expansion. So you take the bottom teams, and then they draft back and forth. We draft. Now, in theory, right, we're only going to go after who? The top teams.
Absolutely.
Top 4 best players. So whoever back then. So Lakers, right? You're talking about Detroit, Chicago, whoever teams was top, we're going to go after those guys first. We're going to pick about 8 players each. And then we got free agency. And then we have the draft, right? So in theory, you're not watering it down because the players that are being picked are all NBA players.
Yep.
Right? So yeah, the talent gets spread, but there's no free agents that's sitting on the market. Like, we're not picking somebody who ain't played in fucking 20 years.
Right.
I gotta stop him. I'm done listening to him.
I see what he's saying, but it's a couple flaws in his argument. But you know what? I'm not even going to dunk on him like how you're dunking on him. At least Gilbert had an argument. I'm sorry. That's just like, damn it, Shot. I know that's your job. I know you don't give a fuck. But like, dog, you literally just had to get your random take off on this era soft. That's not relevant to this conversation, and not even remotely. Man.
He was wrong about the time frame that he's talking about, and the certain teams that he's talking about. But that's a nitpick. I don't really care about that. He was wrong about. I even feel like he was wrong about. Back then they had 7 or 8 rounds or whatever the case may be. If anything, 7 or 8 rounds gives opportunity for those that wouldn't get a look to get a look. Because today, if you're not in those first 2 rounds and in some of the top spots-ish, you're not getting a look at all. Like you're not getting a look as an undrafted guy. You're not getting a fair shake like some of these other guys. So if he forgets, he must forget that some guys that were taken later in late rounds ended up being like Hall of Famers of the time. The concept is though that Kobe Buffkin for the Atlanta Hawks, who isn't a starter, who isn't close to being a starter, now that he's in this draft, is now closer to that starting lineup or now starting on an expansion team. And so because we have a guy who isn't really a starter, who isn't close to being a starter, is now put forward onto the roster of this expansion team, Kobe Buffkin, who shouldn't be playing real NBA minutes, now is forced to play NBA minutes. And that's why it is watered down. But if you're talking about history, Gil, y'all love to reference old players. Please, Dennis Rodman, Larry Bird, Charles Barkley, Julius Erving, Bill Russell, Kareem, all these people at the time were speaking about how expansions water down the league. You don't have to listen to JJ if you don't want to. You don't.
Also, the take favors Kobe, which is like Rashad's guy. Like that's a push for Kobe to be better than LeBron, but for some reason it's just a LeBron push that
is definitely for Kobe Jordan. I'm sorry, just can't.
Yeah. Or not necessarily Kobe over LeBron, but at least Kobe over MJ.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of these.
It just depressed me. I'm sorry if I was supposed to be animated in the clip. It was just so damn dumb.
Yeah, no, I was gonna retweet whatever y'all saying because that shit was stupid.
Type shit.
Dumb, bro.